Okay, everyone, how are you? We're going to try to do this. Oop, um, I'm going to try to do this again and see if you're hearing anything and that everything is going great for you as well as myself. I said that I was going to talk about heart disease, just having learning to work this system, which is really different than the, the zero vibe or Ustream, which we do, or having someone else work at this is me working at this time. So I wanted to talk to you about heart disease and teeth disease that are connected together. They're finding out that your teeth from gingivitis and plaque that you get on your teeth are actually receding gum lines, and periodontal is actually being related to heart disease, which basically sends your mouth, when it's not being cleaned properly and bacteria in your mouth is actually being let in your bloodstream, and it's going to your heart. So sometimes it can, cause heart attacks, cause strokes, and different other heart disease, but also people that have diabetes, because they have to be careful about how they're treated, because if they bleed, if they have pressure, bruising, all this stuff, it causes severe problems for them as well. So it's like, it's really daunting. And when people think it's not important about taking care of their teeth, sometimes we're finding out we're brushing too hard. Sometimes we use the hard toothbrush. Sometimes we use not the right amount of pressure. Sometimes we're just really being too hard in general, and you're figuring like, what can I do to really make this really I don't know, make this much better. You know what I mean? How can I make my teeth good? How can I take good care of my heart? What are some other preventive measures can I do? Um, Back in the 1800s, they didn't have like the brushes like we have today. They would actually, in Africa act and actually some parts of the Caribbean, they would actually chew on bark, and it was a birch tree, and they would just chew, or licorice, and it would actually brush their teeth and their gums, and the saliva was getting all the bacteria out of their mouth. So that was a really good thing back then. And then we got the toothbrush, and then we brushed our teeth, and then sometimes we brush too hard and we make our teeth bleed, and then we're told to brush our teeth twice a day. So you're in there brushing, brushing, brushing. Then some of us don't brush our teeth. Then some of us eat different foods that are more processed, more sugary than we used to. And then some of us drink coffee, some of us drink acidic things that are bad for our teeth, that hurts the enamel. So all these play a part in our teeth and heart disease. So it's very important that you actually go get your teeth done. They have the children get their teeth checked once a year. And then I'm finding out certain insurance, you can only get your teeth checked until you're 21. All depends on your insurance. Now, you also can buy dental insurance that they have additional with that. For people that are on Medicare, they will cover, I believe, the cleaning of your teeth, your x-rays, but if anything that is done, or dental disease or periodontal disease, they don't cover that, comes out of pocket. That can lead up to like $843. So that's not a good option for most people. Then some people said, well, I hate the dentist, I'm not going to go and let my teeth go, and then you don't have beautiful teeth, and then you just have some really issues that coming more. Some people have to get root canals because their teeth are not being taken care of. Some people just, in general, are predisposed to actually have heart disease also in your lineage, if you have cholesterol, if you have high blood pressure. So when you add this dental disease, gum disease, periodontal disease, all these things with your teeth encumbers, plus this make you a double candidate for your heart, and your heart to pump harder. Your blood is just sitting there pumping and just working harder and fighting, because it's, and then the plaque, the bacteria is floating around in your bloodstream. Little things are getting up and supplying in your heart valves, so they're really gunking it up for you. I know these are not real words, these are just my words of what I'm saying. But, I just want you to uh, be mindful of some of the things that can uh, be done for you, per se. So I'm fixing my camera and whatnot. So I just want you to be mindful of your. There you go. I wanted you to be mindful. That's what it is. Okay. All right, people. Sorry. I'm messing around with the camera and other stuff. So please forgive me. That looks so much better. I was like, oh my God, you're up here in my face. So, as I was saying, these lead to different things in your body going wrong, like heart attacks, strokes, when we don't take care of our teeth. How do we take care of our teeth? What do we look to when you're brushing your teeth, or your teeth bleeding, or your gums swollen? Do you see like your gums seem like they're receding and you see more teeth? So people are what do we do? So these are things to be watching for. And some people's like, okay, what can I do to regrow my teeth when they're bad? So some of us get fillings, get what is it, ceramic and mercury fillings, which mercury is bad for your body. We're finding out now, years later, that cause harm to our teeth and our body, which we're finding out. So some people actually go and get that pulled out and be done. And there is what they call a holistic dental team that can work with that. They don't work with mercury, if you will. So that's pretty cool too. I think that is like so nifty. I get excited about like little stuff like that. So I was saying to myself, like, okay, what do we do for the person that is every day for their teeth? How do they take care of their teeth? What do they do with their children? Um, we know that we shouldn't chew gum because it's well and the saliva and the sugar content. But the chewing actually helps your teeth if you chew like with zenithal that is actually made from the birch tree, because it helps, or actually chewing on licorice, which helps your teeth. Also, taking in comfrey root or knit bone root, which is good at giving you calcium, not only for your teeth, but it helps your bone structures and actually feeding the bone. It's really nice. Like some people like to say they build calcium, they drink this called this bone meal soup, which is like with soup of sharp bones and different collagens from different things, and they boil it together, boil it and boil it, and then they drink it. And it's the bones and the marrows, and they chew and they, this is what they do, and to keep that. And then some people take an overdose of calcium. Now we got calcium, you got to take vitamin D to make the calcium receptible, and then you got to take the vitamin C. It's just like back and forth. What do you do? So the thing is, for me, is you're eating right. What is your diet like? um what also you can do is pulling. You know what I mean? That's another thing. You can actually get coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, and it should be in a solid form. Put it in your mouth, switch it around for like 20 minutes. So let you know this is a 20-minute thing. Swish, 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 swish. And it should basically, going around in your mouth, it should be in a liquid form. It should start to melt. And as you spit out, you'll see all the bacteria coming out of your mouth, your gums, and everything. And the coconut will start to heal your gums, will start to heal your teeth, start to coat your teeth, and everything. So, another thing I wanted you to be aware of that you can tell that your teeth are bad is that you have halitosis. Halitosis is bad breath, and it doesn't help if you're taking mints. It doesn't help if your body's not right. Also, halitosis can come from, I used to tell people they're full of the S word or full of poo. or fecal matter. And you literally can be filled with fecal matter that actually comes up through your breath because you're not digesting food properly. You're not chewing your food properly. And that also helps. You chew your food. This is how we eat food. Do you see what I'm doing? Am I sitting there? And your jaws might get tired of chewing, you know? Like, oh, mm, mm, mm. And taste. And that also helps for people that need to have weight loss problems. That will help them as well. That particular thing of chewing your food slowly and savoring. And also try not to drink as you eat. Drink an hour before you eat and drink 2 hours after you eat. I know I'm contradicting myself. Sometimes I find that I'm thirsty and I will just go for it. I will sit there, eat my food, and drink. Um, and I know that's wrong. So, like I said, I know. So I'm going to do better too now that, I'm making this video. So I want you to get something for your teeth. There is periodontal wash for your mouth to help your gums. Also, when you're receding your gums, you're also low in COQ10. CO10Q, I believe it's CO10Q. You're lower. I actually found the mouthwash that has that. Also has prickly ash, which I really like, which is good for your mouth. Also has echinacea in it. It has golden seal in it. This is a mouthwash. I even take it a step further because I put colloidal silver in mine. And not all colloidal silver are equal. Not all herbs are equal, as we're finding out. There are some herbs that they're saying they're herbs, but they're synthetic. And you gotta trust the company and find out exactly where their purveyors are and where they're getting their things from, which is very, very important to know who you're buying from and the product that what it stands for, that it is exactly what it stands for. If they put even 50%, they can say that it's all natural or that it has this in it, and it only can have a little bit. So read your ingredients, and the list of your ingredients, it'll tell you what's the most in there. The first ingredient is majority of the ingredient, and the last is the least. And that's very important to know. But that's just some things, like I said. And you don't have to use coconut oil when you're doing pulling for 20 minutes. You can also use sesame seed oil, which does the same thing. That's for people that says they're allergic to coconut. I like to give other options when you're doing pulling. So when I'm doing pulling, I also, excuse me, I like to, everything wants to rise. I also add tea tree oil, red clove, cinnamon, spearmint, peppermint, tea tree oil. I was just telling somebody tea tree oil is just really good for your body, just not only for your face and antibacteria, antiseptic. It is thebombdiggity.com. Okay. So I add that to my way of things. So I was like, well, what else can I do for these people to let them know about what they can do for their teeth, about their gums? I want to help them some more. They need to know a lot more. So I said, what are some herbs besides your teeth going, and some things to strengthen their heart? So, like, what can you do for your gums, and what can you do for your teeth? And my friend was like, you know what? I don't know. And I said, well, let me give you some things besides the pulling to tie the herbs. Because if you hear your teeth, heal your teeth and your gums, okay, heal them, guess what? You will prevent maybe a 50% chance of not having heart disease or something that causes heart. You cannot guarantee anything, because if you have heart disease or you're being stressed, that doesn't help. That is a stressful situation, and it's not pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to help you in the long run. So I just said, well, what can I do? Let me think of some things, and let me put this together of what we can do for people's teeth, and help them. So I had wrote this down when I was talking about for the teeth and the gums and the plaque and stuff like that. Some stuff that they can actually herbs they can actually take, which is really good. So there's chamomile, there's clove, like I told you, echinacea, like I told you, myrrh, that's in that mouthwash, prickly ash, red root, and yellow dock. Yellow dock is also good, and burdock root is also good for the liver. So that's another reason to add that in there. And chamomile is also a nerve relaxer, relaxes your mind, keeps you calm and your body in balance. And the prickly ash is just to cleanse and actually begins to heal. Um, Now, if you have bleeding of the gums, basically a thing that you can get is red root, and and that's good for gum disease and plaque. Red root, you know, that you can find at what's called herb dispensary. I know it's 100% pure. That's where I would get my liquid uh, extracts if you cannot get the herb in the whole form or the powder form. You can look and see if Mountain Rose has it, or Pen Herb will have it. And Pen Herb will send you the herbs straight from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and they will ship it to you. There's two of them in the Great Northeast. There, no, one in Great Northeast and one in downtown Philly. Used to be by the Spaghetti Factory. Also, it's two of them, but it's a factory out there in the Great Northeast of Philadelphia. Hello, Philly people. Um, so for sore gums, you got capucha oil and neem oil. That helps. A neem oil, you'll find in India, they use a lot of that in their cooking. They use a lot of that on their body and fauna in their body as well. So these are things that you can use to help your teeth to prevent heart disease. So another thing is I like is just peppermint leaf and golden seal and myrrh for pyorrhea, pyorrhea, and you can mix it together, and it actually becomes an antiseptic, and it starts to heal. Just heal the mouth. So this, I mean, this is really good. And I would also add for heart disease and things like that. What we like to add is garlic, cayenne pepper. The garlic and cayenne pepper basically is going to help the blood, help the circulation, and the garlic is going to be a natural antibiotic that works in your body. Also, another thing that you can do to expose your body to more probiotics is actually drink kombucha. You can make your kombucha, and you can actually put a little bit of cayenne pepper in it to let it soak up. Now, all depends on how strong you want it. You also can do like all kind of different herbs to make your kombucha stand out. All depends on what you're using it just for probiotic, and you want to drink and you want to swish and things like that. That helps. It'll get in the system. You also can crush up some garlic and drink and let it marinate and ferment in there as well. You can also make some fermented vegetables and let it eat it, like we made a version of kimchi with it. We made some pickled vegetables with it, and they were the bomb diggity. I mean, they were just absolutely delicious. And I didn't add no salt in them. For you guys that want to know, you can go back and look at the video that I made for the Master Tonic. That's another thing for your body that wants to heal when you have a cold that you want to take as well, as the Master Tonic video, as well as the kimchi video, because fermented vegetables are basically helping in like sauerkraut that are really made, that is raw, is really helping the body actually have cultures that are live cultures that are actually eating just like yogurt. It helps your body, get rid of all the bad bacteria out of your body and replace it with good floral bacteria in your intestines and help you heal. So when you're on a sugar diet, that's what most happen, that people eat a lot of sugar, their teeth is going bad, their body is fighting back, and sometimes they have food sitting in their stomach, and the food and sugary thing can actually make you drunk from eating different sugar things. For some people, it actually cause sugar alcohol because it's fermenting in your stomach. It's been sitting there for so long that it has not been digested properly, that you can actually get drunk. I mean, there's rare cases like 2 to 3% for people that actually go through this, but I'm here to tell you that it can happen. Be very careful. And how you can also help your teeth is doing certain exercises and talking certain ways, like I am spreading my mouth and talking like this, and you know doing your mouth and exercising helps your jaw muscles and all of that stay in shape. I don't like where. So these are things that help your teeth, that helps your heart. And with your heart, how you help your heart is basically from heart disease is cholesterol. What are you putting in your body with your cholesterol? What makes your body not want to function? What is your exercise intake? What is your uh, what is it like? I was told like drink 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar per day. And it not only helps with arthritis, it helps with your teeth, it helps with your gut, and also if you have ulcers, it also said it helps with gas, or what was that thing? Upset stomach when you burning heartburn. So after you eat, like in India, they use fennel seeds with a little bit of sugar, and they give fennel seeds and they chew, and it helps your body digest the food. Well, they're finding the study, if you actually drink apple cider vinegar every day, it's been having some effect on our body. It helps our heart, the apple cider. And I'm not talking about that commercial garbage apple cider vinegar. I'm talking about fermented old age with the mother's wet in the bottle. Um, I'm not going to keep naming names and brands and things, but do your research. Do, as I was told today, due diligence. Do, just don't take my word for it. Research what I'm saying, and you'll find this information out. Due diligence is very important. Due diligence. The apple cider vinegar fermented, it's telling you there's 101 ways for the apple cider to help. It helps your heart, it helps your blood vessel, it helps your your blood, your circulation, it helps the body, it helps the organs because it's going there. And it's not another live cultured drink that they use as condiments. And back in the day, I used to eat fish and chips. That was used to be my favorite. Like it was Arthur Teachers, and I was in like Philadelphia. Like me and my mom would work for the bus, and and that was like a treat. Like I look forward to every Friday because Archer Teachers. These are just things that I grew up with when we was catching a bus. My mom says we're gonna go to Archer Teachers, and we would get fish and chips, the real deal with the nice fish. It wasn't that garbage they do let me sorry, it's not the food they do today that is did back in the day when I was a kid. It was like really, and then we had malted vinegar. It was served nice, and you had the potatoes, and they looked nice, and it wasn't those stringly French fries, string French fries, or shoe flies, or whatever they were called, like the French fries thingies. But they were the thick cut chips, and they were really delicious, and you put malted vinegar on it. It's like, oh wow, that was like a big treat for me. And then also ice cream. My mom would get pistachio ice cream, like this Italian ice cream. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like really good. That's the kind of food I grew up on. Just eating really good food. I We didn't do McDonald's or Burger King and all these other like fast food places that I when I was a kid. Not that my parents didn't have the money, it's just that they cooked everything. My grandmother cooked everything. My great grandmother cooked everything. Uh, I grew up and everybody cooked. On the holidays, everything was cooked fresh. So these are my childhood memories, but they also would pickle and canned, and all of this has a part in your body. Like The stuff was, we didn't use a lot of sugar. The sugar that it was yesterday is not the sugar they have today. It was not processed. So they used a lot of molasses, and then molasses from down south, and they would use molasses with biscuits. And that's where you got your iron from. And you need iron. And also using a cast iron skillet pan also helps, because you get more iron in your food from the cast iron skillet because it leaches into your food. So that's why you do not, under any stance, wash wood, soap and water. There's a way to clean your frying pan and keep it seasoned properly. There's a way around that too. So it's like all the stuff that was health, not thinking what health conscious, and how they made stuff like when they would steam vegetables, they have this like little steamer, not a little steamer, but how she would steam it, it would open up, like she pour it in here and then it would steam and like spread. It's like this metal strainer back in the day. I don't think they even have it, and it looked like a little flower when you see it when it was closed together, and it was like that. So that's another thing for you for heart, preventing heart disease, steaming your vegetables versus frying it and topping it with butter. How about a teaspoon of olive oil and some chopped up garlic and onions, and put it with some lemon juice? The lemon is going to break down the fat in your body, as well as metabolizing, but also give you that fresh spring table. And the garlic is going to help your heart, and the olive oil is going to help your heart. Extra virgin olive oil that's cold pressed is going to help your heart as well. So these are some things that you can do. And coconut oil, cold pressed virgin coconut oil, unrefined. I'm going to say it again, unrefined cold pressed virgin coconut oil is good for cholesterol. They've been doing the study for the last 15 years. Okay? So that is heart helping. If you have cholesterol, you need to check your levels. You need to figure out the food. Instead of eating this big chunk of steak, about this big as my hand or so, when you go and get that great big porterhouse, make sure for the week that you allow allowance. And I'm not saying don't do it. You can't do it, but you can if you're a meat eater. But allow that into your thinking of your daily day of your protein for the day, because that little thing is like 3 or 4 or 5 servings of protein a day, that big porterhouse that you get. And they get the big ones that would actually take like these 2 plates, full of steak. Well, that's not good for your heart. Your cholesterol goes up because your blood is rich and it's fat and it's rushing. So that's not a good way to go. You know what I'm saying? It's not helping your body. So think about that. Instead of frying chicken and frying fish, how about saute the fish? How about bake the fish? How about poach the fish? How about poach the chicken? How about taking a little, we call little bags of parchment paper, put some vegetables in it and some seasonings, and you twist it all around. And basically for that, if that's what you're going to do, you can do that with vegetables too. So for the people that I don't have time, you can get parchment paper, put the vegetables in, a little bit of seasoning, put some liver, some oil, a little bit of oil in there, seasoning like either lemon or a little bit of water or a little bit of vegetable broth in there, and let it steam. And when you pocket, like the steam opens up and just this waft of flavor comes out. It's just beautiful. So these are some suggestions of how to eat, like to eat cleanly. Read all your ingredients and make sure that they're to the point that the sugar, stay away from the sugar, the high fructose corn syrup, which I can't stand. Back in the day, my mom used to actually get this carob syrup that was corn syrup, and she used to actually make what was that? Pecan pie with it. And they had it where it was black as tar, and then they had the white one, which was mean it was over processed, bleach, 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 just like the sugar. When you see raw sugar, what I want you is turbinado sugar. I want you to go into the store and look at the difference between the bleached sugar and the turbinado sugar. And the bleached sugar does not have the molasses, doesn't have the nutrients and anything that it has when you get it from the cane. When you squeeze in that cane, look at the YouTube and go and watch the cane and how cane sugar is made, and you'll understand the process that it goes to be as white in the white crystals that you have. It's really, really deep. Um, so try to avoid sugar. And they're like, oh, well, I don't want to give up sugar. There's other ways to supplement your sweetener. Your heart needs it. Drink a lot more water. Your heart needs to be open and breathing, and it needs oxygen. So what I suggest people do is like add a little bit of peppermint oil to your water, chlorophyll to your water, some lemon juice to your water, some aloe to your water. It actually helps your heart, it helps your organs, it helps your body, it helps you just get rid of all this ick. Drinking cranberry juice, not the cranberry cocktail, real cranberry juice. That helps your body. It antioxidants that it has. It helps your urinary tract. I mean, it helps the body, helps you urinate properly. It just does the darn thing. You know what I'm saying? It it's going to give you healthy. And then you got your vitamin C. Then you got pomegranate, which is like now the superfood. When I was a kid, we used to just call them Chinese apples and just eat the little seeds. They were not expensive as they're today. Um, Other things that we ate that are like superfoods, blueberries and raspberries. Now they're like really expensive, and uh blackberries. I mean, all of these berries that had antioxidants. We took for granted that, you go and you pick them during the months. Like the summers was the strawberries and the apples was the fall. So you knew the seasons by the fruit that you would get, from the apple cobbler and the sweet potato cobbler to the blueberry cobbler and blueberry pie or blackberry pie. You knew what season it was by the fruit. But now that we got this fruits and vegetables coming from all over the place, and I'm grateful. Don't get me wrong, but we don't know. We've lost kind of touch with our food. You know what I'm saying? You lost touch with our food. So how do we get back to that? Um, where simple is more, and it helps your heart. Simple is more, it helps our teeth. I mean, pulling is a Ayurveda style of healing our teeth. You know what I mean? And I don't think anybody was talking about it. There was a book that was written in 1979 that I got about the Ayurveda way and talking about the Pitta and the Kapha. And I thought about, like, what is this pulling? And I started looking at this in the 90s, and I was talking to somebody, and I'm like, pulling? What the heck is that? And then we talked about black sesame seed oil, because in that book, it didn't have coconut oil. I had black sesame seed oil, roasted black sesame seed oil for them to pull. So I was like, well, how the heck I'm gonna find black sesame seed oil? Because that was not here, and that's how far we come. Because now we got black sesame seed oil. Now you see there's virgin coconut oil cold press. Now you see an extra virgin olive oil. But I remember the extra virgin olive oil coming from Christine Perillo. She used to be on PBS as a kid and always talking about Whole Foods. She was my hero. She used to be at Whole Foods when I was a kid, and just, oh my God, just this sensational woman had every kind of recipe thinking. And that's when I got into brown rice syrup and learning and the difference, and then doing a lot of wheat uh, crust, and using a lot of wheat, and learning about oils and canola oil she was using at the time. And I was like, okay. And then I found out it was rapeseeds as I got older. But a lot of my cooking habits growing up came from my parents, came from my ancestors, also came from her doing it a different way, cooking different. But being out on Whole Foods and actually cooking as a kid, and her being there and introducing stuff, was like, wow, she was one of my heroes. And from time to time, I get to see her when I go back home or on PBS. Her name is Christine Perillo, and she has several books out. Wonderful woman, talks about bamboo, and that's how I found out when cooking on bamboo is the bacteria that's why you would, and the ceramic knives. And it was another one, Ming Can Cook. So I mean, these are the people, and Julia Child. These are the people in Lydia. Was my people to go to and look to as they were cooking. And I watch over the years how they have changed. Only person that really hasn't changed so much is Christine Perilla, except that she uh, doesn't cook a lot anymore. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. We all got to change and grow as we see fit. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping that you enjoyed this and that it was a wonderful show. Um, and that you enjoyed it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but uh-oh, I'm almost running out of time, darling. So I have 15 more minutes. But I don't see that anybody has any questions time. But if you have questions for me, you can go to www.chefsesswayfoodalchemist.com. That is chefsessyfoodalchemist.com. That information again is www.chefsessyfoodalchemist.com, chefsessyfoodalchemist.com, and write in your contacts information if you like this video about the food alchemist and heart disease if you have any questions. And hopefully I will get back to you as soon as I can, or I'll have one of my staff members get back to you. So you are love. That's what I say. I say love, light, life, longevity, and much prosperity to all of us. I am your favorite food alchemist. It's been wonderful. Thank you.